Welcome back, guys, and we are in Montreal, Canada this week, and we know it is Lance's home race, and there's so much speculation if he's going to race or not. We are at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve this weekend, and let me give you some circuit stats. We have got 78 laps. We've got 3 DRS zones, so expect DRS trains because of the long straights. We have 4.36 kilometers of circuit length, and we have 305.27 kilometers of race distance. The lap record holder here is one of my all-time favorite drivers, Valtteri Bottas. In 2019, he did a lap record of 1 minute 13.07 seconds. So this track has a lot of corners, and they are slow corners because most of them are chicanes, and it's a fast flowing track, but it's also sort of a stop-start track. So meaning that you go fast into chicane and then you go super slow again around the chicane and then super fast. So that's why I'm saying it's like a stop-go track. So Red Bull and cars that have rear braking issues are not going to like this track at all. And we also have the iconic Wall of Champions, where in 1999, Michael Schumacher, Damon Hill, and Jacques Villeneuve went into the wall. So it's called the Wall of Champions, all in the same race. We have had some current drivers go into the wall, but of course we're hoping that's not going to happen. This is generally a two-stop race because of that rear braking and putting pressure on the back tires. So Pirelli has given it softest tires this week, which is the C4 is hard, the C3 is medium, and the C6 is the softest tire. Let's go on to some of the teams that I talk about. Mercedes did not have such a great session in Spain. Kimi broke down again. And then, of course, we all know the issue with George and Max, and the whole thing got volatile afterwards. So let's hope none of that spills over into this weekend. They are friends off track, so I'm not sure how that's going to work, because they were really upset after the race and like a day or two after the race. Hopefully that doesn't spill over into this race and then George and Max go for each other, because that's just going to be a mess. So getting on to Red Bull, Spain was a circuit that I felt they would do really well at, but I don't know what happened to Max. I also don't know what happened to Yuki, like I've been telling you. So yeah, things weren't as great as I thought they would be for them. I really felt that Max could have won on that circuit last week, but it just didn't end up like that. Besides Mclaren being, doing well, whatever, I did think Max would be right up there. Of course, we know the issue. They put him on the wrong tires, but it seems like they only had hards, but then they should have left him on the tires that he was on. And then, of course, that issue that he had with George, it's just Mercedes and Red Bull just didn't end the race well last week. And let's get on to Ferrari, guys. Yeah. Look, Ferrari is... Charles did well, but Ferrari is... I don't know what's happening. Lewis had a bad race again, and he was looking like super depressed after the race, and I don't know if Lewis can even take this any longer. I almost feel like he's never going to win again, but never say never. I know the Ferrari fans are really upset. Yeah, Charles got podium and he did have a stronger performance. Lewis has always done well in Canada, so he's done well here, and sometimes or most times it rains on this track and Lewis can do well in the rain. So maybe that is something that he can look up to. I don't know. The car is so on and off every week. The car can't adapt to any circuit. Unlike Mclaren, it can go on any circuit and it can race. So it is a bit worrying. Yeah. Let's get on to McLaren. McLaren is doing the things like they should be. Like I said, car adaptable to every race. I still haven't seen a race that they weren't able to adapt to. Maybe 2 races ago, so Oscar wasn't having such a great time because he felt that there were issues, but not enough issues to like make them come last or something. So McLaren is still on top form. I think they should have a good race here. Yes, it's a stop-start track, but it is a fast track also. And I think Oscar is going to do very well here with the chicanes and that kind of thing. I think Lando could do well, but some of the corners may trip him up. I'm not sure about that. Let's talk about some midfield teams. I felt that Alonso did well. Yes, I know a lot of you are like, just retire already. Guys, he's living his best life. I mean, leave the guy. He's getting paid for what he's doing. He's literally just, going from country to country, enjoying himself. So let's just leave Alonso where he is. I think, he's got his first point, so that's awesome. Hadjar, guys, I keep on telling you, Hadjar is the one to watch. I am impressed with him. Every week, he's like in the top 10, especially with quali as well. Every quali gets in the top 10. This guy is doing so well. I actually wonder how Yuki and his relationship are now, because they were driving really well together, and then Yuki got promoted and Yuki is just not good at Red Bull. Kind of wish Yuki was back at Racing Bulls. But yeah, Hadjar's doing really well. Sainz didn't do particularly well, which we thought he would do for a home race in Spain. So I kind of feel bad for him with that. But he's had a great week this week. I don't know if you saw on the socials, they were on the track in Madrid, him and his dad doing donuts and all that kind of thing. So he still seems quite positive, like he's not down or anything. So let's see how it goes with this race. Williams should sort of do well here, because I told you they do have the straight line speed. Let's see how they do on the corners. So let's get on to my predictions. So for pole, I think Lando is going to get it. Definitely Lando, Oscar, and like with split seconds between them. And then for the race, I feel that number 1, Oscar's going to win. Number 2, possibly Lando. And number 3, Charles. I think we may see Charles again. I do see George quite close to probably 5 or 4. And Max also quite close up there, if he can sort out the car with the braking issues that they don't like. But in the last 2 years, in 2023, Max won, and then Alonso, and then Lewis. And then last year it was Max, Lando, and George and Lewis behind. So it's very difficult. I do think because Red Bull doesn't have their car like they did last year, I think definitely it is Oscar to win, Lando, and then perhaps Charles / Max maybe. And of course, I'm always hoping for a Lewis podium. Anyway, that's me, guys. And thank you so much for the support with me at SAS and all those things. And I'll be sharing much more that I saw at SAS in the week. Guys, have an awesome one. We have a break next week, and then we get on to the European leg. Have an awesome one. Stay safe. Bye.